Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB games scheduled for Sunday, April 27th, 2025. Now, if you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Put your baseball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my rundown best bet in Major League Baseball, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Sunday in Major League Baseball. First up, the New York Mets taking on the Washington Nationals. We got Tyler McGill and Mitchell Parker as the starters. Both these starting pitching options having great starts to the season. Sub-2 ERAs, exactly where you want to be towards the end of April. I do think, though, there are some significant regression concerns for Mitchell Parker. I don't love this matchup for him, and I do think that he struggles early. When you look at the numbers, like I mentioned, 1.39 ERA, but a 4.61 xFIP and a very unsustainably low 191 BABIP. I just can't expect that to be the case for much longer. He has been not really missing as many bats this season as he did last year. He's only got 5.57 Ks per nine. The walks per nine are actually a little bit steeper than last season as well. And the Mets have, in a very small sample size, had good numbers against Parker in 30 plate appearances, low strikeout rate, a very high expected slugging percentage, 321 expected batting average. I think they get to Parker early and often. The Nationals bullpen's been one of the worst in baseball to start the season. I think we see a lot of runs from the Mets. I'm going to go with the New York Mets team total over in this one. Next up, we got the Baltimore Orioles taking on the Detroit Tigers. Dean Kramer and Tarek Skubal are the starters. I do think this is a pretty lopsided pitching matchup in favor of Detroit. And beyond just the starting pitchers themselves, I think that that the matchup's really beneficial for the Tigers because the Orioles have really struggled against left-handed pitching. We saw them not do much of anything against both Mackenzie Gore and Mitchell Parker in that National Series, and it doesn't get any better in terms of left-handed starting pitching than Tarek Skubal, the defending AL Cy Young winner. Tigers have only won two of his first five starts this season, so just 2 and 3 in those Skubal games, but I think they pick up a third win here and a run line cover to go with it. Give me the Tigers laying the 1.5 runs. Next are the Los Angeles Angels taking on the Minnesota Twins. Jose Soriano and Joe Ryan are the starters. I'm going to back the Angels in the first 5 innings in this game. I do like their lineup more right now, especially with all the injuries that the Twins have had in their lineup this season. And, Joe Ryan giving up 6 runs in that last game, 3 bombs to go with it. That is a big concern for me. And, Jose Soriano has been so strong on the road this season. Had a 7-inning shutout against the White Sox on the road, 7 2/3 1-run ball against the Rays at Steinbrenner Field, and then 5 2/3, 10 base hits, but only 3 runs against the Rangers at Globe Life Field. So a couple of hitter-friendly ballparks and some tough teams like the Rangers and Rays. Soriano's pitched well on the road, and the Twins lineup with their current state of all the injuries, I just don't think they do enough damage early on in this game. Now, I do think the Twins have the big bullpen advantage, so I'm going to take the Angels in the first 5. Next up, we got the Boston Red Sox taking on the Cleveland Guardians. Brian Bayo and Logan Allen are the starters. Now, when you look at Brian Bayo's season debut, I didn't think it was a perfect outing, even though on paper it looked really strong, 5 innings, 1 run. He did give up a home run, 3 walks to go with it, only the 3 strikeouts, but I did like the fact that it was a lot better than what we saw in the rehab starts from Bayo, and he had a 10-4 ground ball to fly ball ratio. I think Bayo is at his best when he's keeping the ball on the ground, limiting as much sharp contact as possible. And on the other side, Logan Allen's pitched well himself this season, but the 10-16 walk to strikeout ratio does concern me. Allen's faced a really weak strength of schedule this season. He faced one tough lineup. That was the Padres, and that was his worst start of the year, 4 runs and 5 1/3. Then he faced the White Sox, who they've been one of the worst lineups in baseball, the Orioles, who have been miserable against lefties, and the Pittsburgh Pirates, who have also struggled offensively in those next 3 games. Yes, he put together great numbers, but now you're facing a much better team in the Red Sox. I think he struggles a bit, and I think the Red Sox win this game in a low-scoring affair. I'm going to lean towards the under and the Red Sox in this one. Next up, we got the Houston Astros taking on the Kansas City Royals. We got Hunter Brown and Chris Bubich as the starters. This game for me comes down to the fact that I trust the Astros bats a little bit more and the bullpen to go with it. I think both starting pitchers pitch well. They've been excellent to start the season. I mentioned I think Chris Bubich has a breakout year. So far a candidate for comeback player of the year in my opinion. And Brown, he had a slow start last year. No slow start this season. His last 3 games, no runs given up. He's only given up 1 home run in 31 innings with 31 strikeouts. After that last game against the Blue Jays, he racked up the Ks, got his strikeout numbers back to where they need to be. I think that the Astros do find a way to win it in a low-scoring game. Give me the Astros on the money line. Next up, the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. Jose Quintana and Eric Fedde are the starters. Yeah, when you look at Quintana, the Brewers are 3-0 in his first 3 games with 3 blowout wins: 7-0, 5-1, and 11-3. He's pitched well. They've backed him up. You got Eric Fedde on the other side for St. Louis. The Brewers' current hitters have great numbers against Fedde. Very high expected slugging percentage and a .333 expected batting average. Low strikeout rate and a high walk rate to go with it. While Quintana against the current Cardinals lineup, he's pitched very, very well. 23% strikeout rate's not too shabby. A .268 expected slugging percentage, .237 xWOBA. I gotta roll with the Brewers in this one with Quintana until we see him regress a bit, which I don't think we can expect to see him pitch this well the rest of the year. Every start, but so far so good. Give me the Brewers in this one on the money line. Next up, we got the Cincinnati Reds and the Colorado Rockies. Nick Lodolo and Ryan Feltner are the starters. I'm going to roll with the Rockies in this one. I think Ryan Feltner is the best option in this Rockies rotation right now. I think eventually Chase Dollander could be that guy, but right now, Feltner's been in the best form. He's got a sub-4 ERA. Nick Lodolo, he had a great start to the season. He still has good numbers overall this season, but he's struggled those last couple of games, giving up some earned runs. We saw the Marlins get to him. I think that at Coors Field, this is his Coors Field debut. He could struggle quite a bit, and I think the Rockies find a way to win this game. Give me the Rockies on the money line at Coors Field. Next up, we got the Texas Rangers taking on the San Francisco Giants. Jack Leiter and Jordan Hicks are the projected starters. Now, I do worry a little bit about Jack Leiter in this spot. He's coming back from injury. He hasn't pitched in over 20 days. For a starter that's young and doesn't have a lot of MLB experience and a lot of experience returning from injury with his control issues last year, I just think it could be a tough spot in his first game back. I think eventually he'll be back to being a really good option in the Rangers pitching staff, but in this first game, I do worry about him. And, Jordan Hicks, I've been very critical of him as a starting pitcher. I think he's much better relieving option for the Giants going forward. But I got to say, I do think this is a good spot for him, a good matchup. I think he gets the run support. And he's also had great numbers against the Rangers in his career, the current Rangers lineup. Pitching at home, pitching in the afternoon with some run support early like I expect. I think Hicks can put together one of his better outings, even though I still think that he may be better suited for the bullpen. So give me the Giants in this one on the money line at home. Next up, we got the Chicago White Sox taking on the Athletics. Davis Martin and Osvaldo Bido are the projected starters. Definitely a concern to see Bido give up 8 runs and 4 home runs in that last game against the Rangers. And he's already faced this White Sox team very recently on April 16th. Not easy facing the same lineup twice in the matter of 10 days, especially when you had no strikeouts in 5 2/3. So the White Sox were putting the ball in play very often. They had a home run in that game. And now you're pitching at Sacramento, a lot more hitter friendly. This isn't necessarily the best matchup for Bido, but I also don't think it's a great spot for Davis Martin, who similar numbers against these A's, but even worse, 4 runs, 8 base hits, a couple of home runs in 5 1/3 and an 8-0 loss. I think that Bido could struggle, but I think that Martin also gives up his fair share of runs, and they have the White Sox bullpen behind them. I think we see another high-scoring game in this series, and I think we see the A's end up winning it, covering the run line. I do think Bido is the better option at the end of the day. So give me the A's in this one on the run line. Lean towards the over as well. Next up, we got the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the Atlanta Braves. We got Spencer Schwellenbach and Brandon Pfaadt as the projected starters. Brandon Pfaadt, a 2.73 ERA with a 4-1 record to start the season, but an expected ERA at 5.32, an expected batting average at 300. There are some big-time regression concerns, in my opinion, for Pfaadt. He's given up some sharp contact this season, and I think the Braves get to him early and often. I think this is going to be a really tough outing for Brandon Pfaadt, his weakest of the season. I think Schwellenbach will be just fine. I don't think it's going to be a perfect outing. The Diamondbacks are a tough lineup against right-handed pitching, but I think he'll be good enough for the Braves to end up winning this game and potentially covering the run line. I'm going to lay 1.5 runs and take the money line with the Atlanta Braves in this one. Next up, the Miami Marlins taking on the Seattle Mariners. Max Meyer and Bryce Miller are the starters. I think the Marlins compete in this game. Max Meyer's been the best option in this Marlins rotation. Bryce Miller struggled a bit to start the season. You look at the last couple of weeks, Miami in top 10 in baseball and team OPS against right-handed pitching. Their offense is starting to put things together, and you look at some of the other underlying numbers, expected batting average, expected slugging percentage. Miami above league average or league average in a lot of those categories. I think they get to Miller for a few runs. I think they keep this game within the number. Give me the 1.5 runs with the Miami Marlins in this one. Next up, we got the Los Angeles Dodgers hosting the Pittsburgh Pirates. Tyler Glasnow facing his former team, and Bailey Falter on the other side for Pittsburgh. And when you look at Tyler Glasnow against the current Pirates lineup, he has dominated with a 265 xWOBA. His strikeout rate is actually a lot lower than you would expect, but still good numbers overall against Pittsburgh. While on the flip side, the Dodgers have gotten to Bailey Falter for a lot of sharp contact, a low strikeout rate. I think they can get to Falter again here for a few runs early and win this game and cover the run line. Now, this is not a very bettable price. It's a very steep money line price for LA. So maybe you lay 2.5 runs, try to get some plus money. But I'm going to take the Dodgers in this one. Next up, we got the Tampa Bay Rays taking on the San Diego Padres. Zach Littell and Randy Vasquez are the starters. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, starters like Randy Vasquez, Taijuan Walker, Antonio Senzatella. These are starting pitchers that had good starts to their season, but the expected numbers were through the roof. You watch those games, they give up a lot of sharp contact. They get lucky. Their defense helps them out quite a bit, but their regression concerns are there, and we look to fade them in those situations. Walker has struggled ever since. Senzatella, of course, has not been the best option either. And Randy Vasquez in that last game, 6 runs against the Tigers in a Tigers win and run line cover 6-4. I'm fading Vasquez again in this one. I got the Tampa Bay Rays on the money line. Zach Littell's 0-5 this season with an ERA in the 5s, but he's coming off back-to-back quality starts. He's pitching a lot better. I think he has a lot of upside to his game. I think he's a much better option in this game. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay team total over, Tampa Bay money line, and I'll even lay 1.5 runs with Tampa Bay. And the final game we're to talk about for the Sunday card in Major League Baseball, it's the Phillies and the Cubs. Aaron Nola and Jameson Taillon are the starters. Now, until we see Aaron Nola put together a full start where he doesn't struggle, I just can't back the Phillies in this game. The Phillies are 0-5 in his first 5 games. He's given up 2+ home runs in 3 of his first 5, 4+ earned runs in 3 of his first 5, including 10 runs given up in the last 2 starts combined. And a lot of these games, they've failed to cover the alternate run line. They've lost by 2+ runs, 5-1, 3-1, 2-0, 11-4, and even 5-4 last game against the Mets. The Phillies were down 5-0 going into the 9th inning, so it was kind of a misleading final score. Jameson Taillon also has a misleading ERA of 4.73, but his last 4 starts, he's given up 3 runs or fewer in all those games. His strikeout numbers are where they need to be. The Cubs are playing great at Wrigley. Give me the Cubs in this one on the money line and run line at home. And that's it. Those are the games for Sunday in baseball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium, and there is a link in the description. As always, Romanelli, good luck.